All right, you guys
Alright.
ready? You guys
Yeah,
ready?
yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, just a thought podcast. We are back with another one. You know, the host, Ray, and I got my other host Dre here with us. Dre, I'm
How you
happy
guys
to see
doing?
you, man. I'm happy to see you. How's Denmark, bro? Like, how's being up in Europe for? How do you like it so far?
Bro, my first time here and it's amazing. First of all, it's great seeing you too. Thanks for having me back again, as always, man. It was
Of
great
course, man.
energy. But like, man, I know you guys talk about Europe all the time because you currently in Spain. And like it's so different over here, man. I love it. I love it. I've been here for 2 days right now. I was in Copenhagen. Now I'm in the north part of Denmark. I'm in Gilleleje. So it's like north, close to Sweden. I can see Sweden from a beach. So this is insane. Like niggas is in Denmark, man. Niggas is in Denmark. So yeah.
Yo, you the only brother out there?
So surprisingly, there's good like four of us here. I saw like four other black people here. So like that was good to see us, you know. And they I also got a head nod too. You know what I'm saying? So like the universal black head nod.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I got one of those
yeah,
downtown in Copenhagen. But like yeah, I am actually the only brother here to answer your question. But it's nice,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, how's the food and everything, yo? Like how how's
Yo,
um how's the lifestyle like so far?
the lifestyle here, I say as far as the food goes, it's actually very good. It's like real peculiar things though that you don't think go together. Like steak with like
Yeah.
pomegranate seeds, cranberry sauce, like things that like we eat at Thanksgiving, but like they incorporate it into everything. So like it's real good though. Like I got no complaints.
Ah, okay, okay. That's what's
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
man. I'm glad you enjoying yourself out there, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
It's a good time.
Yo, yeah, man. Yo, we have a special guest on today, man. We got listen, my cousin is Dre's cousin is this is family, you know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
happy to have her on. I've been a big we both been a big fan of her work for a long time and like just to see her grow and continue to do what she does. We are excited to have you on. Please, if you can introduce yourself, and then we'll say what we gotta say. You already know the love is there, but introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm not worthy of what y'all just said, but anyway, my name
No,
is
come on, no, no, stop downplaying yourself,
my name
man.
is Venita. I go by Veezy Vibetime. I'm an artist, digital graphic design. I'm also a photographer. I'm a freelancer. I do a little bit of everything, and I'm also a content creator.
She said, where you want to go, I can go with it. I can go with
She does it
it.
all.
Yeah, man. Yo, how's everything been? What have you been up to recently? It's been a minute since we talked, so we gotta
Mhm.
definitely have to catch up before we even start. But how's everything been? Like, what have you been up to?
Everything has been crazy. So I've been doing vendor events and I've been networking. I've started selling my stuff, which is new for me because y'all been with me a long time. So y'all know where I started and
Yeah.
now so I sell my artwork. I do photo shoots. I collab with other artists and I honestly just growing, evolving, doing more content and videos and just trying to do everything I can, honestly.
Yeah, I saw that you put on FB. I think it was like a month ago that you did an event in Brooklyn.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell us about that and like what was the atmosphere like? Like I mean, you come from CT, we're kind of
Mhm.
similar to New York, but we're
Uh-huh.
not. Like
Yeah.
tell us a little
So
bit about that atmosphere.
And the crowd too. How was the
so
crowd? Was it diverse?
that was my first time in Brooklyn.
Oh, that was your first time.
I
In
never
general?
never been to before. So that was an
Wow.
experience, like taking the subway. Hmm?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so that was my first time taking the subway. I went, my friend is a performer. He's
Mhm.
a artist, singer, rapper. So he asked me to come and shoot for him. That was my first time shooting with him, everything. So his cousin is a restaurant owner. She owns Basquiat's bottle out there. It's a cute little atmosphere. So he did an album release party, and he had me capture everything for him. I did some video work too. So it was a cool experience. People are a little harder to please out there, but
You should know that.
yeah, people are harder to for sure. But it was a good experience, you know, just being out there. That just makes me like happy to do what I do. It's like a blessing. It's work, but it's a blessing too, because you see and you capture a lot of stuff that just touches you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Inspirational
yeah,
around, huh?
definitely. Yeah.
Mhm.
So from that experience, like tell us about, because you also done shows in CT where we come from. Tell us how that was like, and how that atmosphere was compared to the one when you went in Brooklyn.
And even pop-up shops too. I
So,
know you do a few of those.
Yeah, the pop-up shops as
mhm.
well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So people in Connecticut are very supportive. I think that people don't realize that because some people are like, oh, people don't share my stuff. But I think it's just what you put out there. It's the energy you put out there. Like if you're positive and you show interest and you like empathize with people, just with everything that they do, it's not hard to connect. It's not hard to get support or be supportive.
Mhm.
It costs nothing to do that, you know? So
You're right. It costs no money to do it, but I don't know. You're right about that, but like the whole like having people on your team and like being there actually to support you sometimes could be a little hassle. Like, but you're right. It does not cost any money. I don't know why people don't do it, but like it's
mhm,
just simple. Like, yo, look at this person. Like, we're family, we're friends, and they're showing out their content, their art to the world. Like, why not
mhm.
support it? You know, it is simple, but not a lot of people don't do it.
It's
Yeah,
weird
people.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
People sometimes. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, please. You're the guest. You get the
Go ahead,
floor.
go ahead.
Take it
Yeah.
away. Take it away.
No, so what I'm saying is like sometimes people want to see you do well, but not better than them. A lot of people just won't admit that,
Mm, mm.
and but I don't understand. It's just too much greatness out here for everybody to not be supportive. Everybody could win. Everybody could eat, but people are stingy. People are greedy. But
You've never lied. You know what's crazy? I think I feel like that traces back to them, and I say them, I mean in just like institutionalized racism and like the
mhm,
system. How like you know what I'm saying? Black people they progress in some place, but they feel like they're in competition with only black people because they're that one. They feel like this is the spot that they've earned, and they feel possessive over it because they feel like they reach somewhere. You know, when all reality, the people who stay
yeah,
successful are the ones who build up their team as well as themselves. You know, they put their other
mhm,
friends on. They tell their
mhm,
friends and their family exactly how they got to where they got to. And again, not everything works for everybody, but there's no secrets in
mhm,
that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like people they get like a little possessive, and you're absolutely right. Like that fake, you know, let me not share. Like, you know, they're doing great, but like, I don't want them to do way better than me or like get supporters from my
mhm.
supporters, you know. Let people stop looking at my stuff, look at their stuff. So like people are very weird. You know, I feel like it's 1,001 reasons why people don't share people's stuff, but like you hit it on the nose
Mhm.
for sure.
You
Yeah,
preaching,
I've
Dre.
done this a long time. People are just you gotta learn that everybody doesn't have the same heart as you. You gotta learn that
Mm,
everybody doesn't think the way you think. So if you go into a mindset like that, like I'm gonna do what works for me and not so much try to be like everybody else, that's kind of how you thrive too. So
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
mhm.
So tell us like when you first started compare to you are now, like is that feeling like, do you think you're better than uh the way you first felt about what you wanted to do? Do you feel like you're better than that now?
Absolutely. When I first started, I was like a people pleaser when I first started. Now I just don't give a damn now. But
Mm,
Don't
Yeah,
it feel
when I
good?
first
Don't it
started, I
feel
was
good when
like,
you get that feeling?
it
Don't it
feels
feel good?
amazing. Oh my God. I was just like, I hope they see this. I hope they see that. And I was
Yeah.
19 when I first started. I'm 31 now. So I've been doing
Mm-hmm.
this a long time. But you learn stuff along the way. You get some thick skin. You become a little more humble. You see some things. So
Mhm.
now I don't do this for anybody. I do this for myself. And
That's a switch.
that's
That's a
like the
switch.
best, that's the best feeling because you believe in what you do, you feel good about it. And I used to care about likes, shares,
Everybody.
comments, everybody did. But now like when I put out like photography or I post stuff, I feel good about that. And when I'm able to connect with people, that's like top tier for me. That's mainly what
Mm.
I think about now.
Yeah, yeah,
When
yeah. That's a good feeling. Go ahead, Dre. Go, Dre.
when it
Mhm.
comes to the creativity process, so like one thing I can say about you is that like you said, you've been doing this for a while. Like I remember literally being in middle
Mhm.
school and you posted Veezy Vibetime, like the fan signs, like fan signs, like this is like
Word.
like this is a you were doing this consistently though, like since then. Like
Word.
Mhm.
it's not like you just like took a break in the back seat and just watching for like years. Like no, like you were always in it. And even if to you, you may feel like you were out of it. I've always
Mhm.
seen you be consistent with your work. So as far as your creativity goes, and like, I mean, I know you're happy right now. You're doing
I
it for
appreciate that.
you,
Thank
of course. I know you're happy you're doing it for you now. But do you feel
you.
like
Mhm.
your art is evolving, or do you feel like with not caring what people think that you're doing exactly what you want to do in the beginning, or do you feel like what you're doing in the beginning was just a starter to where you're at now? That makes sense. I can reiterate the question if you need to.
I feel like what I did in the beginning, I feel like what I did in the beginning, I didn't do that with I did that like going off of everything that I saw. It wasn't like my
Mm,
own style. I was doing stuff that I
mm-hmm.
always saw. I didn't do stuff that I myself did.
Yeah.
Now I take more time. So I don't post consistently, but the stuff that I do, that starts from scratch now. That's not,
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's not box cake, it's cake from scratch now. So now it's
Yeah.
more,
Mm-hmm.
it's more
It hit different.
homemade.
You got
Yeah,
your
Yep.
it's way
recipe,
different
your
now.
milk. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yo,
so I
so
get all the stuff from scratch now, and y'all know homemade stuff tastes better anyway. So
oh
Yeah, excuse
yeah,
me.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
We ain't arguing with
Seasoning.
you. We ain't arguing with you. We ain't arguing. Let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Do you create to understand or do you express what you have already learned?
Ooh, I would say honestly, I would say both. So I create to express because sometimes I'm not always the best at expressing verbally or even talking about it. So
Mm-hmm.
so I do it to express, and then I do it based off what I learned as well. So
Okay.
it's like it's 50-50.
50-50.
Mhm.
Yeah, that I'm glad you answered that because like I don't know, like for me, I love art. I love learning about it. My love
Yeah, and I see you draw too. You're
I'm
not
I'm
low because I see you draw too. You be killing it.
I'm trying.
You
I'm
knew I
trying.
was gonna
God.
come. I even started with that because you knew I was gonna come for you. I seen the stuff
I'm
you draw.
yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying. Listen, my like when I was younger, I always liked to I like to draw, but like it was never like something that really interests me. I just like doing it to waste time. But I feel
Mhm.
like now it's more like I'm expressing myself on a piece of paper. Like it helps me get my feelings out.
Mm-hmm.
It helps
Mhm.
me like with thinking. It makes me think clearly. So when I draw now, like it's a totally different feeling than when I was drawing when I was younger. That's why I had to
Mhm.
ask you the question. Like, do you leave all your feelings out there when you're drawing on a pen, or when you're doing art on the computer or with the phone? Do you feel like you are expressing yourself fully, or is it just like a stress reliever?
Yeah, it's definitely both. Because I always feel
Mm.
lighter after I create. I feel like I've
Mm-hmm.
accomplished something. I feel like really good when I finish. So that makes me realize that I'm doing something that I love. This is what I'm meant to do. Because I've never had a different feeling the way I feel when I create art.
Yeah. When did you first feel that though? Like when you were younger? When did you first feel that love and passion for art?
Well, definitely when I was younger, because I've always like drawn since I was like little, and then when I got to high school, I got introduced to digital art, and
Yeah,
then
that's when it changed for me too.
that's
Mm-hmm.
when I was just like, oh wow, so you could do this on the computer too. And I was like, okay, say less. And I didn't start photography until like maybe 2017, but I've always liked to take pictures. So then once I got my camera and I started shooting, that felt really good. So I learned everything that I could learn about it. I started taking clientele, and it's always like a really, really, really good feeling.
Yeah, yeah. So like what would you say like your first experience when you started drawing? Like what was that first memorable like drawing that you did when you were a child that you remember that always makes you like go back and think like, wow, I've been doing this for a minute.
But I started, with the standard drawing, like the house, the sun in the corner.
The sun in the corner, yeah, yeah.
Maybe draw a smile on the sun. Some glasses, maybe.
Yeah, I noticed when I was doing the sun, I always added more colors. I didn't always just do yellow. I would always do orange. I would always do red. And it's crazy because I love sunsets and sunrises now. Like I'm obsessed with that. But when I was doing those drawings, I would always add second colors. I would never just do a primary color. I would always be that person that would always grab a second color because I always saw it differently from everybody else. So
Yeah.
definitely that standard drawing with the sun in the corner. I think we've all been there
Mm-hmm.
with the sun in the
Yeah,
corner,
we
and then
with the sun in the
Yeah.
corner, yeah.
and
In the yeah, go ahead.
the hills, of course. I would always just do the two like circles, I guess.
The half ovals that like they kind of run into each other,
Yeah,
and the sun come over the crest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
part of the creative and then we all go there. Part of the
that,
creativity process and evolving. So let me see what I can do. Let me add some mountains or something. I gotta do something different.
yeah, for sure. And then I would say like in my adult life, I did like a mountain drawing for Bible school at church, and I started adding all this texture and stuff. I was just kind of freehanding it. I was going with whatever, and I was like, wow, that looks really good. So I pay attention to detail. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a strength that I have. I definitely pay attention to detail. So, and now everything that I do, I think about it a lot more. I look like beyond rather than just what everybody could see. I try to think deeply into that.
It's it's a bigger picture because like what was it like? You saying that's what started for you. For me, it was like oil pastels in like second or third grade. Seeing that I could
Oh, I
blend the
love
colors in with my
those.
finger. Yeah, that's when I started
Yeah.
evolving a little bit from like because I used to do the hill stuff too with like the half sun, but like I started blending and like doing sunsets. I remember blending the options together and like those little details. You were able to elaborate more with the type of tools you were able to have. So like I'm with
Mhm.
you. I relate to you in that standpoint because like
Yeah.
as far as like details go, people like to draw like the simple objects. But I feel like as your creativity like and like develops, you get to see those like you get to fine tune those little things that are like in your vision and like what you
Mm.
said before
Hmm.
too, like not doing things for other people and like seeing things for other people. You're doing exactly what it is that you love, and it's for you now. So like you're able to
Yeah.
actually
How you
create what you're seeing.
honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. That's how you.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
So like all right, so what about with graphic designing and like doing designing on computers? What was that first masterpiece that you looked at and you're like, yo, this is it. This is what I want to continue to do?
So crazy thing, right? When you're in like a trade school and you're in the design department, you're given projects like from real clientele from outside of the school. And I would always come in second place. I would never win, right? So senior year, we all designed a banner for graduation and a program, and mine got picked. So I was like, I kept losing, and then like the biggest project was the project that I ended up getting. So that was like the first thing that did it for me. It was just a simple program for commencement, and graduating that year and having done the program, that was probably the first thing for me that really set it off as far as the digital art goes.
Oh, okay. So that humbled you. That humbled you always coming in second, but finally getting over that, yo. That's what's up. I remember when you were doing you were doing albums too for people. Like, how was that experience doing albums for people that come from the same city or the same area as you? How was that experience?
And the funny thing is, the first album cover I did, that was Chad's album cover. And
Shout
we all
Shout out to Chad.
One of my longest friends. That was the first album cover I ever did. And seeing that and seeing how much reception it got, it started to travel throughout, like more people, and more people started coming to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't believe in the album cover at first. I didn't like it at all. But he was just like, how you put everything together and how it all came together. And I had incorporated Disney into the album cover too. Hades from Hercules, I put him on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it set the tone. And he was like, you really should continue with this. And I was like, no, absolutely not. But I've done maybe close to 100 now.
Damn. Yeah, album covers?
I remember.
Close to 100, yeah.
I remember Chad's up there, and after that, the rest, everybody else that rapped with him, I'm not sure they were called I feel like the Watchmen, is that what they were calling each other?
Yeah, the Watchmen.
Yeah.
Watchmen's
but like,
yeah,
but they all got album covers from me. I remember everybody, I'm like, oh, these are fire. Like, I remember everybody was rapping, they're doing, like, they're jumping on beats. What's his name? Sorry. Bravo, but formerly ASAP, Steven, you know what I'm saying? But he goes by Bravo now. But like at the time it was like ASAP, you know what I'm saying? Because we had ASAP Mob and Rocky and stuff, but like he was ASAP in middle school. I remember his transition from his covers.
Dang, like, that's a way back. That's crazy.
Yeah, you do all those things. Like, man. Yeah. But like I feel that's a compliment though, like the fact that like you put yourself out there, someone gives you opportunity to work, and that's the thing. You collaborate with another artist, whether it's rap or not. That collaboration effort exposes you to more and other opportunities, In the same line of business, people were seeing you all over, and like not even just with the album covers. I remember you cartoonized me for my Facebook like profile picture, and like it was me and a few other people, and then as you know, like half of my Facebook friends had a cartoon like version of themselves because of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so, like,
me too. She did me too.
Yeah,
she did me too.
Yeah,
I remember. Yo, I was actually, when I first got that, I was like, yo, this is gonna be the profile picture. I don't care what nobody's saying. Like, I definitely put that on my profile picture. Yeah. I was, yo, because I was waiting. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna try to bug her, but I did ask 2 times, like, let me try to get that, yo. Like, yo, I put that as my profile picture for a minute.
It's funny too. I see people message me all the time, like being on TikTok, YouTube, and like Instagram. I get DMs from artists all the time who want to sell like they want to either cartoonize me or they want to like make me an intro to YouTube, which is like great marketing. They reach out. But I'm like, Venita was doing this literally 2009. Like this, like what you're doing is like, no offense, like I seen this already. You know what I'm saying? Like, like if I needed to do this, I knew who I would go to. But it was just like not that what they're putting out there isn't enough for me, but it's just like it's already been done. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the love. It's like what you're doing, what you did back then, they're doing like just now. And it's a great thing for them because who's to say where they'll be in 10 years? But it's just like I'm able to recognize that just from looking like people messaging me. I'm like, no, if I needed this, I know who I'll go to. But like it's crazy though,
Word.
like just like
It's so
the
crazy. Like you
influence.
put that in perspective, and I don't realize that. Like, well, like yeah, I did that like so long
Yeah,
ago. I don't even give myself that credit. I'm just thinking about what I'm doing now. That I don't think about like 10 years ago. Because I was a kid when I started. I'm
yeah.
still young. I'm gonna tell myself that I'm still
You're
young.
still young.
But
Yeah,
You're still young.
you're still
Yo,
young. Get out of here, yo.
I just turned 28 2 weeks ago, and I literally put on Twitter, I was like, I'm so sorry to anybody I called old when I was 21 and saying that they were 30, they were old. Because like I'm right there, and I feel yo, it's
yo,
crazy, man. I feel like we're kids still running around the pack. Like, yeah,
Yo,
I'm
we
sorry,
all
man. You're
look
not old.
young. Like we
Yeah,
all look young. Like
yeah,
yeah.
that's one favor that's going for us. Like, listen, I always tell because I have friends out here that they say the same thing. Oh, I'm 30 something. Oh, I'm 20 something. Like I'm getting old. I'm like, all right, but what happens if you die tomorrow? Like they're gonna say you were young, right? So
right.
think
Exactly.
young, like you know what I'm saying? You're young, you're
And
only
I'm gonna say
31.
this. I'm gonna
Only
say this
31.
too. Like life has really been starting since I turned 30. Like
Mm.
20s is cool. Like I'm not gonna lie, 20s are cool, but 30, life has been lit since I turned 30. So
So
I don't know what like
can you elaborate a little bit on that, like what you mean? And you
Yeah,
have to
let
get
me hear that.
anything
Yeah.
deep or crazy, but I want to like put it out there. Like what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
so like So like when you turn 30, I think I could only speak for me. Like when you turn 30, I guess you start to feel like because you're at this point where you've matured, you've done some maturing, and turning 30, it's a lot of fun. Because when I turned 30, I started to do stuff that was out of my comfort zone, and that kind of like set the tone for everything. Going to the vendor events, never did that
Mm,
until I turned 30. Um, Investing in my brand. I didn't do too much of that until after turning 30 because now I know things that I didn't know before. So when you learn some new stuff and you figure some new stuff out, you get some new kind of money or whatever, and
mm,
anything like that, it's it'll like it's like an elevation, if you will. So I've done a lot of stuff. Um I started entering like competitions, just doing things I've never done before, going to like galas and like all this weird stuff, all this stuff that I've never done before. So that's why life has been fun. And also I think differently. I have a different mindset. I have a different mentality.
mhm.
So that's been good too.
I think that can help a lot of people just hearing what you said just now. It's definitely encouraging because like it's a blessing I think to get older in general and to be here obviously, but
Mhm.
it's hard. It's hard for people to focus
Yeah.
on the good things when so many things are just happening in life in general. So like I feel like what you said is really
Yeah.
encouraging. Because yeah, like we're gonna have
Hmm.
troubles. People are gonna experience loss. People are gonna go through things, but like there's something to
Hmm.
look forward to. And you learn your lessons. That's what it sounds like. Like the ones that you haven't been through,
Yeah,
you're getting
absolutely.
a gauge for them. So that's encouraging. Like
Mhm.
that made me a little bit more excited. I'm getting closer to 30. God willing. But it's just like that's encouraging. So thanks for sharing, man.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks
It,
for sharing that. And yeah, and I feel, listen, I'm 30 now. Like I do feel
Mhm.
like for me, I would probably say when I started like actually taking pride in what I was doing or like
mhm.
being consistent in what I'm doing, I would say that actually happened when I was 29, 28. Like I was thinking like, you know what? I have to okay, I'm working, I'm making money, but it's time to like focus on something you want to do or something that you want to help that changes the world, something
Yes.
simple or something to focus on. So I've been focusing and just trying to stay on task. But sometimes it can be difficult. But I do feel
Hmm.
like 30, at this age, I do feel like I'm more motivated to do things and I'm more motivated
Yeah.
to go out of my comfort zone. So I understand what you're going through. Like that feeling of like, fuck
Mhm.
it, you know what I'm saying? It's time for me to get out of my comfort zone. It's time for me to explore my ideas and show how creative I am. So I respect you for
Yes,
sharing that because I
absolutely.
feel that the same way.
Thanks for you
Mhm.
sharing as well too, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause
Yeah, man.
I see it too. You know, I see obviously one side of it. You know what I'm saying? We all have our individual lives, but like we incorporate each other. Like with the podcast, I first the grade schools. Like, you know, like there's something you had an idea with, and you asked for my support on. So I was able to support you as much as I could. But life happens. My life changed. The trajectory of my time changed too. You know, I want to be here every session, but like even though I'm not here, you're still doing what it is that you know what I'm saying, you created. And I think it's a beautiful thing. I love seeing the podcast you
Absolutely.
do with other people. Like I love guest hosting, and it's like it's phenomenal to see. And then on top of it, you know what you're doing in Spain as well, and involving in that standpoint too. It's very nice to see. So like
Mhm.
I'm really appreciative for both of you guys sharing because I'm getting a lot from this in general.
Yeah, absolutely.
Word.
And
Word.
don't
Go
discredit
ahead, go ahead.
yourself, Andre, because you've done a lot too. I mean, you're getting
Exactly.
married. That's huge. You're getting married. Don't
Yeah,
speed past that. Um,
it's a lot going on.
you're
And
doing
yo,
like
and you're
yeah,
consistent. Yo, you're consistent on social media. Look what you built on TikTok. Look what you built
absolutely.
on YouTube. Like you definitely give me some inspiration to continue to motivate myself and continue to get up and be consistent all the time. So like definitely, yo, give yourself a hug too, man. Like
Absolutely.
you definitely work just as hard, man. Like
Thank y'all.
I definitely get some of that inspiration from you too, man.
Hmm. Yeah,
Thank
both of you
y'all.
guys are me, absolutely. So I'm grateful for y'all. I'm proud of y'all and just everything y'all got going on. I'm honored to be here, you know. So
We're shit.
We're
We're
honored to
honored
have
for
you.
you to come.
Yeah,
Yeah, for real.
it's
Like
full circle for real. This is our family. You know
yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm saying?
man.
Like we really like people don't really like we say group together like we really did. That's the whole thing. We're really family. You
mhm,
know what I'm saying? So like
absolutely.
this, it's refreshing too. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that on a personal level, everybody here has dealt with loss. Everybody here has dealt with
Hmm.
something that nobody has known they gone through. You know what I'm saying? And being open about it. So it's
Right.
like it's really nice to see that despite you know through you guys are still trying to find ways to chase what makes you feel whole, you know?
Absolutely.
And like I'm not saying just happiness because like that's minimal, you know what I'm saying? You realize that happiness is work, happiness is consistency, happiness is
Yeah.
long nights, happiness is trying again, posting something and then not going through. Happiness is you put an artwork out and somebody may not want to purchase that piece, but this is you know what I'm saying? That consistency. So like it's really nice to see that like yo, that work. You know what I'm saying? It's really inspirational because it
Yeah.
takes a lot. And people don't realize that. They see the end product and they think that's all it is, you know? Or they don't even
No.
see the vision in itself. Like being a
Word.
creative is like I think one of the most dopest characteristics to have. And like, yes, you can definitely learn to be a creative, but when it's like a natural thing, which I think it is for both of y'all. Cause I even remember too, because I used to get made fun of for going to the art room at the Boys and Girls Club, like all the time. Right? Steve, my older
Yeah,
cousins, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever. But I remember
yeah, you
that
did.
y'all would pop in there though. You know what I'm saying? Y'all would pop in there, draw with me. Like I remember. And then I'll leave, I'll go play the sports for everybody else. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can tell those people where it's natural to them, you know? And like it's an outlet. It's all these different things. So
Yeah.
like I respect it and it makes me feel good that like y'all are finding ways to just feel alive. Cause that's what it's about, you know what I'm saying? And living. Cause like what you guys do matter on a whole different type of scale. You're providing a platform for people to speak their opinions, their ideas, and it's supportive. You know what I'm saying? And we're getting different perspectives on things. We're not just here to debate what someone else is saying. It's more so like, what is going on? How can we help? Or let's vibe. I have this art show. You know what I'm saying? I'm posting up some work. I just did a pop-up shop. Come through and support. It's really nice to see, you know, because a lot of people get stuck in just what they're not doing or what they could be doing, or just like I'm sad, I'm in a funk, and those are all things so okay to process and be in. But like when you're able to find ways to just feel better and do better, it makes life so much more worth it. And I think people need to see that, you know. So that raw
Absolutely.
that rawness in your artwork, the rawness in the vulnerability the podcast, like it really does matter. It matters a lot.
Word. Thank you for sharing that, Dre. So yo, we're gonna go into because let's talk about a little bit before we because I want to know about your love for photography too. But before we get into that, let's talk about your spirituality. Like, what keeps you going? Like, what helps you do what you got to do day by day? What is the drive like? What is your spirituality like?
Well, I grew up in church. I've always, been a church person. Then after my grandma passed, I just didn't go anymore. I stopped that. But it was very important for me to keep a relationship with God because God has always been there. God has always been a person that I've gone to. And I don't want that to change just because I've stopped going to church. And I like how I feel. You know what I mean? I've done the hard work, I've gone to therapy a couple of times just when I felt like I didn't know what to do. I definitely encourage people to do therapy if they worried about it, if they've gone back and forth. I encourage that because it's very healthy to get out your feelings. It's very healthy to address why you feel a certain way and why you think the way that you do. Because once you clear that up and you set everything up, you start to operate better, you start to think better, you start to do things, and releasing feels good. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel heavy on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yes. I second everything she just said. I'm also in therapy as well, Venita. I started going back, not just for the fact that I'm getting married. I want to be a better person for myself.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of things I didn't get a chance to deal with, and there are a lot of things that affected my mood, my behaviors. I wanted to literally just like be a better person for me. Whatever the reason is, it could be whatever it is for you. There's no measure for pain. There's no measure for experience.
Absolutely.
You can't compare how you feel about something to somebody else's experience. But
right.
when I tell you, when you put that work in, you will see a difference completely.
Absolutely.
And like, thanks for being so courageous to even be open about that. Cause like, it's hard. That topic. Yeah.
Cause for the longest, I was like, I don't want to go to therapy. That's crazy. Like, I don't need to do that. I'm fine. But you tell yourself something enough times, you believe it. And then you start to behave, do things in unhealthy ways. Whether you would eating badly, you would be engaging in like risky behavior, anything really, or just having like a negative mindset, even down to the simplicity of that. But yeah, I definitely, because we come from a community just where therapy is kind of like where people see therapy as an insult, almost like, well, what you going to therapy for? Like, I've even heard that a few times, but this goes back to not caring about what people think, not just creatively, but just period. Like, not thinking about what anybody thinks. You got to think about what's best for you because you are affected by your actions, so in anything you do. Definitely therapy helped, praying, and I do gratitude journals where at the end of the day I write 5 things I'm grateful for, and if something goes bad, I always say that happened, but God is still good, So that helps me too. And it's cool to be sad. It's cool to be upset when things don't go your way. If you're an adult, 99% of the time, stuff is not going to go the way you think it's going to go.
Exactly.
Right.
That plan and stuff, that life will show you that plan that you have, it go right the window, man.
Yo, for real.
And God will laugh at your plans.
Yo.
God like, oh, you want to do that? That's cool, but that's not going to happen. But
there's a remix.
No, like, that's cool. That's not gonna happen, but that's cool for you to think that. But no, I think if you just go into the mindset where you're positive, you keep a positive mindset, you focus on the things that make you happy, and you focus on just what brings you peace, all that other stuff, that's not going to mean anything. You know, it's little stuff. Some stuff is heavy. It's never going to be easy. But I think it's just about how you deal. You know, there's no healthy or unhealthy way to deal. People are going to deal how they feel they're comfortable with dealing. But just to go back to it, therapy is really good. Silence, meditation. I did meditation for a little while. That was helpful. And
oh, word? You did meditation?
I did meditation. Well, I had like the Headspace app because I was working a whole lot. And
You told me about the app. You told me about Headspace. You're the one that told me about it.
Yeah. So when I first started working, it was a culture shock, of course, but getting into it, I started to meditate. That was really helpful. That kept me centered, and that kept me very it gave me something to look forward to every day when it came to just having time to myself, because I didn't have a lot of that. So meditation like kept me centered when a lot was going on at that time. So definitely meditation as well, walking, listening to music, just all that stuff, you know.
What you bumping when you what are you listening to when you go through those times?
Oh, let me tell you. So during that time, I'm a 90s kid. So I like the R&B, you know,
Yeah, we know.
the topic, you know, all that stuff. I actually have really grown to like Kehlani. That's probably one of my favorite artists now.
She's fire. Saw her in concert.
Andre,
wonderful.
Because I wanted to go and I couldn't get off in time to go because I wanted to go see her.
She's a phenomenal performer.
Oh man, I love her. I love her albums. Who else? I think Drake, of course. Drake is always one of my favorites to listen to.
Shout out to his new album. People are sleeping on the album. The album is fire, yo.
I
love the new one. Oh, it's good. I like the new one. The one before it though, that can go right. That can stay in the trash. You don't even search that one up.
Stop, Drake. Stop.
You and your brother, right? You and your brother, man. Y'all are again. You're so supportive, right? You know what I'm saying? That ass album before this one with 21.
That album was fire. Listen, it was just a different type of Drake. We got more of a house Drake. It wasn't a rapping
no one asked that Drake though. We don't want that Drake. Remember, like Venita in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Doing things for other people's visions because she, you know, that's the thing. Like we wanted that version of that Drake. You know what I'm saying? We weren't ready for the evolved Drake. So 100% could be a before our time.
Yeah,
absolutely. But like right now, I was not vibing with it. I could not get with it. You know, so I was disappointed until you got this album with 21. But I respect it though. So each his own. You know what I'm saying? It worked for you.
Yeah.
You were the person it was meant for it to be. So I respect it.
Drake, like, listen, I be listening to Drake too, but like sometimes he be putting me in a mood where I'm like, yo, fuck these bitches, yo. Like that's why I can't be listening to him all the time because I be getting these feelings like I don't trust nobody. Like when I get that way, I'm like, you know what? Let me take him. Because I feel light-skinned. I'm not light-skinned. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not light-skinned. You know, when I listen to Drake at the end, I'm like, yo, I can't trust nobody.
Yo, you're not the only person that actually made, like, when I listen to Bryson Tiller, Brent Fayez, I used to be the same exact way. Yo, I'm like, I'm like a toxic person, but I feel like being toxic right now. I need to calm down. Because, like, it's hype music. You know what I'm saying? Essentially. But, like, it makes you really think about things. You know what I'm saying? Like, Trap Soul, like he talks about his faults too. Like I'm talking about Bryson Tiller. I'm talking about his faults completely, but also flip it from a girl's perspective and like how she made him feel. You know, so like Drake like makes you feel that way. I was like, yo, I can't listen to, I can't go too hard with this music because like I'm like, man, like yo, Jose ain't shit sometimes, but you know what I'm saying? Like there's times you gotta take accountability. And Brent Fayez, literally, that's all his music is. Like people have to call him toxic, but he's literally just like, this is what I like. Like you knew exactly who I was before you started dating me. You can't flip it around now because this is literally who I am. This is what I've been, you know? And like
Yeah.
I could do better, but I really don't want to do better. So it's like
Yeah.
you gotta be careful sometimes the music you listen to. Like I like
People
how
are
both
so honest now.
yo,
I
it's
love that.
crazy.
People are
But
so
and
honest
Yeah.
now.
absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Because it is what it is now. There's no it's not that there is no surprises. Like people can still do you dirty, you not know it. But like
Mhm,
it's more upfront now. You know what you're getting yourself into. And
mhm.
it's not like always a shocker when things happen, you know? But like yeah, like all three of those artists I think go hard from that level. For sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, they definitely do. I like Fayez. I like Fayez too.
One song
I'm
I
a
can
proud artist. I don't want y'all to judge me because they're not a group no more. I really, during that time, I really vibe with One Direction, like very much.
Oh my god.
Listen,
Oh my
listen,
god.
hear me out, because I don't feel like you guys have really. I think y'all just know like what makes you beautiful and stuff
no, no,
like
no.
that. Y'all have to
So
go further into the album, just to.
Mm.
you don't
I
have to
don't.
do that.
Mm.
But what I will say
You don't
is
have to-
I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just joking with you
Nah,
there.
you right, cuz you don't gotta go
Yeah.
into that. Please don't.
I will say this though. When they broke up, I had a song called I think called "Sign of the Times."
Mhm.
There's a good message behind it. Like when you look it up, there's the actual reason why he wrote the song. That song can be interpreted in a lot of different ways. I don't think you even realize it's not biblical, but it's like it's real heavenly. That one song. It's called "Sign of the Times." "Sign of the Times" by Harry Styles. Look up the
Mhm.
lyrics. Like it kind of when I heard it, I thought he was talking about the Bible and just like the way the world works. But like he's like he has a whole different he has his own message behind
Mhm.
it. But like that it was prophetic. I think is the word. But like that's one song. But the rest of the songs I never heard or listened to. So
Okay.
maybe another time.
Yo, Dre, I like how you just
Oh
Dre doing it
man.
respectfully. He's
Listen,
like respectful. He's doing it respectfully.
y'all
He's like, yo,
right
like I ain't gonna fuck with this shit.
here, but I'm
Nah,
doing this for me, not for anybody else.
I'm
So
just One Direction though, cuz.
One Direction.
listen. Forget the first album. We're not gonna worry about the first album. Like the
We're not
last
gonna
two.
work about all of their albums.
Yeah, I didn't know they had. I thought they had one album, then they broke up. I thought.
Well, they broke up like after I guess like the fourth or the fifth one. But
I'm mad that you're a fan, cuz.
I
Like,
am. I love them. I really do.
That's okay. It works. It's for you. It's for you.
It's
What
for
about
me,
it though?
huh?
Like, what about them? Is it just like is it like the funness they brought, or were you like I don't know, like what's the hype?
Obviously they did bring funness. Like I would watch like their concerts. I would watch behind the scenes stuff, and I did like that aspect. It actually seeing them interact, that took me back to when we were kids. You know what I mean? Like just all getting along, all that.
Yeah,
But they
yeah,
actually write very well too. Like going deep into their backstories, all of their backstories. They're like really good writers. So
sorry. And speaking of that, the other one, Zayn, Dusk Till Dawn, the song with Sia, I love that song. I think it's a really good song.
mhm.
But like,
she is dope.
And
She is
yeah,
dope.
she's very dope. But she also was a writer as well. So like, I can understand that. I
Mhm.
have not listened to the
Yeah,
other music, so I can't co-sign what you're saying.
mhm.
But those two
Yeah,
songs from both of them, phenomenal, phenomenal songs.
yeah, yeah. They're very all five of them are good writers. But
What was it? I don't want to
I
get
know,
so.
like when you look at them, they were a teeny bopper boy band, but when they grew up a little bit,
Yeah.
like after the third album, it was yeah.
I can't believe you. I can't believe you. I can't believe you.
Oh man,
Listen. Before we jump back into like, because we want to learn, you got a lot on your resume with with the drawing, with the graphic designing, with taking photos. Um, but tell us a little bit about Kanye West, because Kanye West is all over the news right now. How do you feel about Kanye West and like, do you think it's time for him to get therapy? Do you think it's time for him to just let go of what's going on? What are your opinions on Kanye West?
I don't know. I think Kanye has never been shy saying how he feels. But I think that now that he's from under that Kardashian, that whole era, I think that he's just acting a fool now because he had an image to uphold, woman and this high profile family, and now that you're free to do what you please, you're like acting up, like really acting up, saying everything that you wanted to say the last 7-8 years you've been with this woman, and now you saying whatever, you doing whatever. I mean, I don't think Kanye's crazy. Maybe that's just me. I don't think he's crazy. I think that when you've been in a situation to where you have to kind of filter everything you say because of who you're with, I guess, because they already judge her from her past, and he's coming out and saying everything. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. I can't believe he said that. But I'm like, are y'all surprised? You know?
Yeah.
I definitely hear you, and I agree with everything you're saying. Like I don't think people understand too. Like, what was it? So for one, he's one of my favorite artists like ever, and like it saddens me honestly to realize that like sometimes you can't support like how do I explain? I was literally like so I have a wall of celebrities in my bedroom. If I was on vacation, I would show you, and like he's up there for his writing abilities, for his creative like aspect, for what he provided to music and Chicago in general. I'm not from Chicago, but I know how much he gave back, you know? But like you're right, he's never been shy. So like when he was going off on the rants on Twitter and Instagram, that was normal. Like to me, like I was never shocked by that.
I was like, y'all are surprised? You know? I'm like, he always does that.
People were shocked by that, you know what I'm saying? We've been new though, you know what I'm saying? We've been new. But like it's just like that's Kanye's being Kanye, you know what I'm saying? But like because again, that status and that association, mental health started coming into play, which is 100%, I think is something that he should take more serious, you know? But I also see it because of that, it's weaponized against him. And that's something that he's fought about. Like he talked about real serious things like his children being taken away from him. And then of course there's a different spin on that, you know? So it's like I think 100% he's not crazy. He's very emotional. I think that he should talk to somebody consecutively, have a good support system, but also too, sometimes he needs a little bit of humbling. Because even in documentary, his mom told like she used to keep him on earth. You know what I'm saying? His mom, she's like, your head is kind of in the stars, Kanye. Don't forget to like stand on your feet on earth, you know? Because like he's always had a big ego. And that's how he got to where he got to. So like I understand that, like when like, you know, but I feel like sometimes you get a little bit lost. So like when it's like the comments like slavery's a choice, that hurt me. You know what I'm saying? Because like you like I can only support you so much, but when you just do things just to say them, they're real harmful. You have to watch what you say. Because people were down, but especially considering that people didn't even believe that we even had struggles in this country, being African American, and that we have no effect. People thought we were just making things up and complaining about nothing. What are you complaining about? Slavery happened 400 years ago. Slavery's not even like around anymore. Like your grandparents, you weren't even a slave. We still feel those effects to this day. We always felt these things, but because the pandemic happened and all the distractions were gone, people were able to see in real time what we experienced, and that's only a taste, you know. So like to say something like that, you're really disrespectful because you're taking away from the importance of what we go through in general. It's really dangerous being black. People really like black people only get that. You know what I'm saying? And everybody wants to be black until it's time to be black. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes down to it, they go right back to who they really were. And I'm gonna give you one example. Machine Gun Kelly. I love Machine Gun Kelly as far as music goes. He's a weirdo, don't get me wrong. But all the music he's doing right now, like he came out as a rapper. But all the music he's doing right now is music I feel like he should have been doing when he first came out. But he started rapping because why? He's somebody who's not like us, similar to Eminem, who could hold a flow. And it's interesting because it's not normal. It's not normally seen. You know, a white person who could rap really, really well and keep on beats and like, you know, he uses the N-word, but like he didn't use it all the time. You know? So it was like that was exciting. That was new. But now he's doing EDM. He's doing like rock and roll. He's doing all these covers, which I love. They're great, by the way. Don't get me wrong. But I'm like, this is exactly who you are. This is who you are. This is exactly who you are. You know? I'm not saying you can't like rap. I'm not saying you can't rap. But I'm like, be who you are. You know
Be
what I'm saying?
yourself.
Be yourself.
Be
Just be
yourself.
yourself. And Kanye,
Yeah,
I
man.
feel like he's gonna have a good support system. And like the
I
George
agree.
Floyd comment, it hurts me. So I took him off my wall. And it like once I heard him say that about George Floyd, I was like, nope, removed. You know? And like you can only support somebody for so long where like their stupidity flows into how you feel about them and their character. Because what I support is his old music and his lyricism, you know what I'm saying, and his influence. However, it's hard to separate that when you're literally putting those messages out there and you're it's being more harmful than good. So like I was always that thin line, you know what I'm saying, of like supporting somebody from their artwork and then separating the person from. It's really very thin. It's very very thin, and I feel sad. I'm like very sad for him, honestly.
Yeah, the White Lives Matter thing kind of threw me completely off
Mm-hmm.
because a
All
lot
of us.
with Black Lives Matter, we lost a lot of people. There
Yeah.
was so much going on. So that happened. That pissed me off. Because George Floyd was just one. There's people who weren't even put in the media that it happened to.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so that pissed me off because I was just like, you're a Black man. You should be the one person that.
But that's the thing, he does get it.
Everything through. You know what I mean?
It's that
Yeah.
ego. Because
Yeah.
he does get it. That's the whole thing. You do get it. Because you used to rap about. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? You used to rap about this stuff. Like that's the whole thing. You didn't miss it. You chose to use it.
Thing about people getting beside themselves to the point where they forget who they are or where they've come from. So so that threw me off. I didn't like that too much, but
it's a weird thing, man.
It is sad.
But just going back to it, he's expressing himself, and Andre, like you said, he should probably go to therapy so it can become healthy and not a way where it's hurting people or offending people.
Yeah, I personally think like.
But that's how I feel about that.
Yeah, I personally think for Kanye, you know, he's one of my favorite artists. I put him in my top 5 at least. But I think at this point, you need help. Like we love you. We want to see you grow. Like for us, for our generation, we've seen him go from college dropout to Donda to graduation, putting out all these amazing tracks, and like you want to see him continue to do what he was doing before. And like this version of Kanye, we don't know what's going on, but as Black people, we support him, and I just want him to know that like we have him. Just get help, man. Like just don't listen to the media and start focusing on yourself. Like we want to see him do well. Like we all seen him do well, and like when he's doing well, he's one of the best artists. Like in my opinion. So we just want you to do well, man.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the photography. Like, so when you started doing photography, what was some of your biggest challenges, and what were the things that you realized like, oh, this is gonna be fun? Like, what were some of your biggest challenges?
My biggest challenge more so was just getting people to shoot for me, you know, being comfortable asking people like, hey, can I take pictures of you? Because I didn't want to focus too much on myself. I more so wanted to capture everything around me. My really, really good friend, Crown Soto, I don't know if you know him, Ray. He's a poet and a musician. And he gave me the encouragement. He was just like, I think that you should start photography. It initially wasn't my idea. Because I was just like,
Lamont. It's Lamont.
Yeah.
Shout out Lamont. Yeah.
Yeah, Lamont is amazing. One of my very best friends. He encouraged me to start photography. He was just like, I see the pictures you take and you should start to go further with that. He was one of the first people that I shot. I had shot like some of my first pictures in 2018. I got my equipment in 2017, but I didn't start really till 2018. So he really encouraged me to start doing that. And for a while I wasn't doing it consistently. It was more so just taking pictures just to kind of have them. And I just wanted to see what I could do, combine it with like my creative side with my art and see where I could go with it. I didn't start getting more consistent, honestly, until maybe after the pandemic. Because mind you, everybody was shut down for like 2 years. We couldn't do anything. So once we all came back out, I was just like, I want to take pictures. I want to do more of that. I want to capture anything that I can, even if it's nature. And since maybe the beginning of this year, it's been going really, really, really well for me. I've had new clientele. Like just in September, that was all new people. That was all people that never met me before, but just by word of mouth, they see what I do, they see what I capture, and it's been up ever since, honestly. So
yeah. So what like when you take a picture, what do you notice when you take a picture? Like what do you know, like, okay, this is gonna be a good picture, or it's like, oh, okay, let me try another one. But how do you know it's gonna be a good picture?
well, the first thing will be authenticity. So when it feels real is when I really love pictures. I don't like too much of people posing when I take pictures. I try to capture people like in their natural element. I don't want to feel like, not, and no disrespect to them, I don't want to feel like a studio photographer. I want to feel like a person that you don't even know is there, or even know. And something that I always say to people is act like I'm not here, and just, and people tend to feel more comfortable. And some people, they don't admit this. People like to be hyped up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when they look good and they feel good, they do good. It's like a domino effect. So when you give that encouragement while you're taking pictures, you throw out a yes every now and then, a period every now and then, like just some type of encouragement, it goes a lot smoother. So for me, I like the way that I can make somebody feel, because sometimes they're not as confident. They get a little intimidated when they see a nice camera, and they feel like they have to do so much more, and they have to put on like an image. But I'm like, no, just be yourself, because when people are themselves, it demonstrates very well, like into the picture. So I'm very big on authenticity. That would be number one. And I love sharpness. I like out of focus stuff too, but I really like sharpness as well. So, and it takes a lot of practice. I'm still learning my camera. I've had it for 5 years. I'm still learning my camera, but having sharpness is important as well. And my favorite kind of photos are black and white. I really
Black
like
and
black and
white.
white
Why
photos.
black and
I
white?
love
I'll have to agree. I agree with you, but why black and white?
because it takes away color and you have less to focus on. So, and I believe very much that less is more, you know? So when you take away all that color, you take away just all of the editing or whatever people put on photos, and you just have black and white, the message is a lot stronger.
Mm, yeah, yo, I'm not gonna lie, like a black and white photo, like even if you take it on your phone or you take it on a device that is not a camera, like that black and white photo is gonna make it look like you like somebody took it professionally. It comes out more like it's a different like expression than if you were gonna take a regular photo. Nah, I totally agree with that. Like when I take photos on my own, and I ain't no photographer. I'm horrible at it. But when I do take photos and I'm editing, I'm like, yo, the
Don't do
black and
that.
white.
I've seen your stuff. I seen your pictures. Your stuff is really nice. Don't even play yourself like that. I'm gonna
You
call
know,
you
and
out. Don't even do that.
but listen, it takes like 3 good photos take probably like an hour and a half just to like get my, you know what I'm saying? Because the first 90 photos I take look
And I'm gonna tell you
horrible.
a
So
secret.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you a secret. I could take up to maybe 1,000, right? I could take
Hmm.
maybe 1,000, and maybe about 150 of those. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It takes a lot of picking and everything.
Damn, 1,000. When is the best time to take a photo, in the morning or at night?
Ooh, um, definitely golden hour for sure, because you get
Golden
the best
hour.
lighting. You
Yeah.
get the best lighting during golden hour, and you get an even shift between night and morning. Like say a summer day, it could be really hot, and then at night it gets cool. But then you have golden hour, you have a good view, you have good lighting, and you have good temperature, like all around. You know, shooting at night is fun. It's a lot of fun. It just feels like you're getting into mischief and all that. You know, that's the good part about shooting at night. And shooting in the morning, I don't care for it, because I don't get too inspired till maybe afternoon. So shooting in the morning, I don't do that too often, so I can't give a clear consensus on that. But mostly I would say golden hour. But
Yeah,
Ray, I
but
want to
you
ask you,
go
because
ahead.
I've done photography with you.
Yeah, you
So how do
did.
you feel? Like, how did you feel at that time when I shot with you?
So we did a couple. We did a couple in Stratford at where you live at, and then we did a couple where my mom lives at in Black Rock. But honestly,
Mhm.
when we did the one in Black Rock, we went at a before the sunset went down. So you got a lot of
Yeah.
pictures of me with the sunset going down, and then when it got darker, you could see like some part of the sky was darker than other parts of the sky. So those
Mhm.
pictures for me were like when I took those, I felt powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah,
was like, yo, I'm about to post this shit on
yeah,
Instagram. Like for me, like when you gave me those pictures back, I was like, yo, I need to put those up because like the editing, the focusing, the time of the day, like it was
hmm,
perfect, and I love that shoot. The one that we did in Stratford, I like too because you can get there's a lot of trees. I think it was at night, but my skin lit up.
Mhm.
It was for me all the experiences I did with you were good because it was so detailed. Even when I did with Dre, like I felt most of the pictures were detailed and like they had a story behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how I felt with your pictures because
Yeah.
it took a lot of time because we were out there for a minute, but I liked it, yo.
Yeah, we were
Definitely, definitely.
good.
I remember
Um,
listen, I remember the
go
time
ahead,
you
Dre.
shot with her. I remember the time you shot with her too, because you guys were excited. I saw the photo. I'm like, these are fire. Because I think I'm not sure was Nick also there with y'all too that time.
Nick was there,
Yeah, Nick was
yo.
there.
Yeah, I saw all of them. I was like, yo, these are phenomenal. I was like, who took these? You like, Venita took that because we were doing photo shoots during the same time, you know.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
like, I'm like, yeah, those are beautiful. Like you say, like I'm actually looking at one right now too. Like I think this is one of them, right? Hold on,
Yeah,
Jamaica one.
yeah,
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 yeah.
the
yeah.
contrast of the sky too. You can tell it's setting, but like it's saying like it speaks 1,000 words. Like it's like all the cliche things. You know what I'm saying? Like this photo embodies. You know, but I remember the excitement.
Yeah.
I did the photo shoot. I remember seeing
Yeah.
it too. But like, yeah, the work speaks for itself. Showing it, the sharpness,
Thank you.
everything you
And you
said.
know what's crazy? Nick came to just chill. Nick wasn't gonna take pictures.
He was not
And
trying to take no pictures.
he was not trying to take any pictures, and I was like, please, because Ray and Tim are doing it. Why don't you do it too? So he wasn't with it at first, but then when he saw something that I caught when he wasn't looking, he was like, all right, I'll do it too. So it made him kind of a believer too, because Nick was not with it. He was just like,
he was not, yo. No, he was not. He he was like, yeah, I'm not trying to be in no pictures. Like, I don't know what y'all doing. But that first picture when he wasn't looking away, he was like, you know what? I don't look that bad. I was like, yo, I told you.
Let me try this again. Let me try this again real quick. Let me see.
Yeah, let me try it again. Yeah. But
so Nick got in there too.
For you, Dre, how, like, when you started taking pictures, how was that feeling for you?
So I always was obsessed with taking pictures. Like even in like middle school, on a digital camera, like it was just something that I love doing. And not even like to be vain. Like I like to take pictures of myself too. I like seeing the detail. I like seeing like how different lightings, like skin looks, like all those. It's a lot of work. People don't realize that how much work goes into these things.
Yeah.
And then when I started doing computer arts in high school, and I realized I can manipulate pictures, like, and as far as like changing the background, you know what I'm saying? Like I could take myself, crop only me, put me in space. Like that was insane to me, So like when obviously like Instagram's about selfies and like showing off, like social media in general, you put something else out there, kind of like it's a mirage, you know what I'm saying? For the most part, I guess you can say. Like, yes, you can post real authentic captions and things, but like what you're posting on there is things that you typically like. You're not gonna post terrible things, But when it came to like photos, I love taking like good quality photos. And over time, I started shying away from like the heavy filters and like the dark like shadows. Like I literally just started like doing more simpler things and maybe a little bit of warmth to it, just to give a little bit of like feeling and like life. But like taking pictures to me, like it was just like it was a gateway to like modeling. It was a gateway to just embracing like another way of being creative. You know what I'm saying? Because I've always been into that. And it was even before the likes. Like I'm so happy right now too. Instagram and Facebook, you go hide likes. You go hide like the count. Like I love that. You know what I'm saying? Because like when it becomes just about posting, you get to a point where you start second guessing what you look like. You start second guessing if your value is important or not. And like I'm at a point, I don't care. Like I don't care what I put on my Instagram for the sake of like who likes it, who doesn't. What I put on there, I like, and I leave it at that. If it pops off and gets a good amount, no one would even know because no one can even see my like count. So I love that, But like the photos was also a good bonding thing too. Like when y'all told me y'all wanted to also start modeling and like building up a portfolio, I was so excited that y'all wanted to do it with me, and not with me like you're doing it with me. I mean with me like we were able to collab every single time we collaborated. We did so many great shoots, great shoots. Like my portfolio was phenomenal because I had y'all. You know what I'm saying? So like I was so grateful that y'all were willing to always come down to Stanford when I lived there. Y'all take the train, we just shoot, you know what I'm saying? Different ideas, we bounce off each other. Like it was a great time. Like I really enjoy it and like see it. Dang man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, let me get the blur out.
Effect.
Yeah. The blur out.
Pull up.
Let me see. Blur it out.
Yeah, let me see if I can remove it real quick. But this is like when we did like this is right around the time Panther came out. And this is like 2018. It is me, you, and Tim on my roof. I wish I could show you guys right now. Maybe but like these photos are just like, oh no, man. Like I was with my bros, you know what I'm saying? Y'all my god brothers, but like y'all my family. And we was out there shooting, like we had t-shirts on, we was in the same color, like color wise, you know what I'm saying? It was all like muted tones. And like this is one of my favorite photo shoots I ever did.
Yeah, I'll put it up. When we put out the video, I'll put it up. Yeah, because that was one of my favorite ones too. Like it was during the first Black Panther. And I remember it just being a beautiful day. Like I don't know, it was one of my favorite photo shoots that I did with both y'all.
And then also too the 90s one we did. That one was phenomenal too.
I saw that. That was fire.
What was it like? it's crazy too. A lot of our shoots got recognition from brands and stuff as well. Like people like stores, the items that we were wearing, they would comment on the photos, you know? And like that was definitely like that was nice to be acknowledged, you know? It would have been nicer, obviously, if we got deals from them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, it was really nice to be noticed for our efforts when we were really just hanging out, had a great idea, and we collaborated. Like that was like a really fun time. Like that's one of
Bruh,
the best summers I think I ever had. For real.
bruh, I lost my Selena shirt, bro. That
Oh
the
man.
shirt, I lost the Selena shirt after we did that photo shoot. I lost it, bro.
Damn.
Until this day, I can't live without that regret. I lost that shit, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, man. I try not to look at that photo shoot because it was one of my favorite my favorite shirts. And I get mad every time I look at that shoot because I lost that shit, bro. I lost it.
I
I'm
know now
tight,
for next
bro.
time, for your next
I'm
birthday
tight.
post, man, I won't use that photo then.
Please don't.
I'm,
Please don't.
oh man. We gotta
So
put it up here though, so people know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So you
yeah,
like
we
to see it
got
again. You
yeah,
gotta throw it up real
yeah.
quick. Oh man.
You're right. You're right, yo. So cuz what is your favorite what's your favorite platform to use when it comes to like putting your artwork out? Like what is your favorite platform to use? Instagram, is it Facebook? Like to get your brand out there.
Um, Actually, none of those. I use a platform, an app actually called Guru Shots, and this is a
Mhm.
photographer's app. And there's certain categories of pictures you could post, and you vote for different photographers. You see the different type of photography that everybody does. So
Mhm.
Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all that is fine, but I think where I value the appreciation most is amongst people who are like me and think and have the photographic eye that I have, because those are opinions that can help better me. You know, I
Mhm.
like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that. That's cool. That's fine. Um, because people see what I'm doing. People at least know what I have going on. That's fine. But it's just nice to connect with people who really and truly understand the meaning behind what I'm doing. So I would
Mhm.
say that, you know,
Community.
Mhm.
The
Yeah,
community.
yeah.
That's what's helpful because it's understanding of
yeah,
what you
absolutely.
do. And
Because and some people have said to me, like, why are you sharing other photographers, why are you posting other photographers work or other artists? And I had touched on this one time. I was just like, why would you ever feel like people who do the same thing as you is competition? It's almost like a family, because people
Right.
Mhm.
understand and people empathize and people really see the effort, the time, the money that you put into this. And I think sometimes that's so much more valuable than a like or than a comment or anything. Like, but between me and y'all, I don't care for likes and comments and anything like that. I did it at first because I was just like, I want everybody to see my art, but now I don't care about none of that. Honestly, I really don't care about any of that. I really I want to do something that makes me feel good, that can help change the world, and I feel like I've done that. So I just want to keep doing that because that feels good to me, you know?
yeah.
Word, word. So why do you think art has a purpose? Like give me your definition of why it's important to have art in general. Why does it have a purpose, you think?
Well, art is for the people who can't who don't have the courage to tell their story, who don't always have the confidence to speak, because some things are better left unsaid, if that makes sense, you know?
Mm,
So art has a purpose because art is something that is not by a blueprint. It's not by a book. It's not something that that is right or wrong. And I think having an element like that in the world is important because it's a place where you feel free. Art is not a thing, it's a place, it's a feeling, you know? So I feel like when art is created, and even in the littlest of things that we see every day, I think that if the world didn't have that, it would be so gray, you know? And art is that color.
I love everything you just said. Like, it's funny because when you asked Venita that question, my immediate answer in my mouth was, art is. Like what I said, art is. You know what I'm saying? It's
absolutely.
Like you said, it's honestly not even whatever you want it to be. It's a lot of different things without form. And like it's really godlike. You know what I'm saying? God is, I think, the number one artist, you know? And like it's insane how art transpires into different fields beyond just creativity, you know? So like different type of outlets and avenues. Like art is literally like there's no, it's not bound by certain walls. There's no limit to how far you can take it. There's a thin line though with people passing off BS as art. However, you might be like, you know, also too, even nudity as art, you know? And it's a very thin line between just being horny as hell and then it being artistic. But
yes,
art really is though. Art really is. Art really is. And like I think everything you said is absolutely true.
Yeah. So before we move on, tell us, what would you say to somebody that is trying to express their art, somebody that is trying to put out their art to everybody in the world? What would you say to that person to give them confidence?
Well, I would say don't second guess. Do not get in your head about this because this is not something that's not a battle that you'll win. If you get in your head, you're not going to do it. So I would definitely say, just do it. Just do it. If you're not as confident, that's okay, because confidence, that takes time. That's never easy. I still even have my moments where I struggle with my confidence as an artist, even despite all that I've done, because I always think about what more can I do, but be present. Absolutely be present. You know, don't think about what reception you're going to get. Don't think about how long it took to get there. Just be present, have fun with it, see it as something that is good for your soul.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Dre, what do you think about that?
I mean, I think that's completely true. You know, like yeah, like there's not much more, honestly. Like I think you hit the nail on the head with all of it.
Yeah, she did. She
Yeah,
solidified that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, I've been co-signing her the entire time. It's just
So tell us about like next year, 2 years from now. What do you want to do going into the next year and continue to focus? What is a future goal for you in your brand?
My goal is to, I think number one would be to just have fun. Absolutely have fun. I see so much greatness for myself as a creative. I really feel like I can do some damage. I feel like I can really, I can see it for myself. And that's the first thing that's really going to elevate me, because I see it. I can envision it for myself, you know? And I want to make my art my full-time thing. I want to just be a full-time artist so I can have that availability. I see nothing wrong with anybody working, 9 to 5. That's amazing, because that's another challenge that a lot of people still can't even get to. But I want to be a full-time artist. That's always the number one goal for me. I want to do more events. I want to do more shooting. I am doing everything that I once prayed for. So So I feel good about where I'm at right now, and
Mhm.
I can only see it getting better from there. I feel that in my heart, and I talk to God about it all the time. I pray about it. I just pray to keep my sanity, to not lose sight of what I'm trying to do, and to just be able to keep connecting with amazing people. I've met some wonderful people. I've been supported by wonderful people, and I don't know. I just feel like I'm gonna be that girl, you know, with my art, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna do everything that I see for myself. If I want it, I'm gonna get it.
I
And
hear you.
Heard you.
what's for me won't miss me, and what misses me
Mhm.
is not for me. You know.
That's it.
So
Mm,
that's how I feel.
Yep. And just a reminder,
mm,
you already are,
mm.
you already are that girl. It's in you. What you're saying is really important because people don't realize like your foundation is what ties you back in to walking into that greatness that's already inside of you. So that
Yeah.
foundation with God, that relationship, that talking to Him, those desires that are on your heart, you are going to reach them. And I cannot wait
Mm.
to see, God willing, all the fruits of your labor. It's going to be a very exciting day, and we're going to celebrate. You know,
Absolutely.
so I,
And
I can't wait for you.
I'm just getting
Exactly.
started. I've done this for 12 years. I'm just getting started. I haven't even
Yep.
scratched yet. So I'm
Yep.
just looking forward to all of that greatness that I see and the places that my talent has gotten me this far. I'm so grateful to God. I'm grateful to the people who have supported me, who have believed in me, and even the people who have not done that, because God is leading those people right out, left and right. And I'm grateful. Like, God don't play about me. So I'm
Yeah,
grateful for
Skippy.
that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy. I'm happy you guys both share that, yo. So right now, before we end the show, I got a special thing for both y'all. Right now, we're gonna do something called Just Thoughts. All right. So Just Thoughts is I'm gonna give you guys a question. You guys give me a one-word answer. All right. So be
One word.
ready. This is for both of
one
y'all.
word.
One
Okay.
word.
One word answer. If you need
Oh
to
man.
add, if you need to add more, go ahead. But
Okay.
ready? Let's do it. Chocolate or peanut butter?
Both.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Nope. Can't do that.
I'm an
Can't do
artist.
that.
I'm an artist. I can break rules. I can do that.
Okay. What about you, guys?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Oof. I'm about to say peanut butter. I'm sorry.
Peanut butter.
Um,
Ooh.
Cool Ranch. Oh, yeah, peanut butter. Cool Ranch Doritos or the regular nacho Doritos?
Regular.
Cool
Mm,
Ranch.
I love
Cool
you.
Ranch.
Cool Ranch.
Yeah.
Nah, I
Nah.
can't. I
You're right.
can't get with
Right.
that.
Nah. 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 Once I said it, I was trying to let it marinate, but like, nah. Like
Oh, like he didn't believe
the red
that.
ones.
He didn't
That
believe
the
that.
red. The red. I didn't believe it. I said it. I was like, nah. That's not even. I don't even feel that way. The red ones for sure. The nacho cheese for sure. That's supreme.
Mm.
But like the Cool Ranch, like I'll take those bags and have them on deck. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was in a variety
Yeah.
pack, I'll take all the nacho cheese, but I'll take the blue cheese with
I like
it.
the spicy too. I really like the sweet spicy ones.
The sweet
Those are
chili,
I like those.
Ooh.
maybe hitting
Ooh.
sometimes too, but not more than those two.
Ooh. Okay. Pizza or tacos?
Oh, pizza, pizza,
Oh,
pizza's my favorite food
I say
ever.
yeah.
Y'all
Pizza,
saying pizza?
Because you can
yeah,
do
I'm
Y'all
saying
more with
saying
pizza.
pizza. Yeah, you can do more.
Yeah, way more. And tacos, people, it sucks. People be messing
You can
them
do
up. People be messing
tacos.
tacos up. Crazy. Love tacos
be
too, but
careful what y'all
pizza,
say about tacos. Be careful what
man.
y'all say. Okay. Beyonce or Mary J. Blige?
Ooh,
Ooh.
see, oh man,
I'm honestly, I'm gonna say Mary. I'm gonna
I'm
say
saying
Mary. Devil's advocate.
Mary.
I'm Mary here because I think that Mary is more relatable. I think that yeah, I think she's more relatable. I think that like the fact that she can't dance, a lot of us can't dance, you know? And I feel like we could be and a real love player, whatever. with Beyonce, she's always been super iconic, so sometimes that's hard to relate to, you know? So that's why I would say Mary.
Say Mary. I'm gonna go Beyonce. Reason why I'm gonna say Beyonce is because the album she put out with Me, Myself, and I think that's one of my favorite R&B albums.
B-Day,
I like Mary J.
My favorite Beyonce album, I would say B-Day. B-Day was really good.
B-Day go hard too, but for me, it's the energy she gives me. Like, I'm gonna have to say Beyonce, but Mary J is
Mary
tough too.
J for the kids, for the aunties.
Yeah, Mary J's for everybody.
You know,
getting up early in the morning, on the weekends. That's, you know what I'm saying. That's, dang man, I'm feeling a little blue. Let me put some blues on. Let me put Mary J. Blige on. I'm feeling hype. Maybe put some Mary J. Blige on. Like,
and there's
I think it's full circle.
Her to me too. Mary J was on the tapes, the cassette tapes.
She was
CDs.
So okay. That's what Mary.
Michael Jackson or Chris Brown?
Oh man,
Ooh.
Michael Jackson though. I'm gonna say Michael Jackson, and I'm a huge Chris Brown fan, man.
Chris
he
Brown
is definitely
his
legacy. Yo, he's definitely, I think, today's Chris Brown. I mean, Michael Jackson. Chris Brown is definitely our generation's Michael Jackson, if you want to put a name to it. And I think that what AMA did to him is grimy, and we all know why they did it to him. You know what I'm saying? But it just shows like that man is very, very talented, triple threat, dancer, singer. You know what I'm saying?
And
great entertainer, and an artist. Exactly. Literally a musical artist. You know what I'm saying? He act too. He died on his movies, but he's really an artist. Like literally, you know.
Yeah, Stomp the Art ain't shit.
Yeah.
But I would say Michael Jackson, because the influence he's had on music is insane. You see his influence in everything. And everybody wants to imitate him. I was he-heing the other day. This morning, honestly.
Yo, you're a fool, yo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael longevity alone is enough for him to be my pick. That longevity of all that time from his childhood to being like in his 50s, you know, he's done so much. So he gets my respect there for sure.
Okay. Rush Hour or Friday?
Oh, I'm gonna say Rush Hour. I'm gonna say Rush Hour.
Oh man,
thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all why though. I'm gonna tell y'all why.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think Friday was the span of one day. Like you mean to tell me all this happened in one day? There's no way. There's no way. You go from smoking all the dealers' weed to a drive-by, your sister getting her hair done, your girlfriend coming over tripping, you chilling with the next door neighbor, you get fired on your day off. There's never a time in the day you have no milk for cereal. Like y'all never left the street. Y'all didn't go to the grocery store. Like y'all didn't do nothing. You get locked out your house. Everything in one day. There's no way. I would be pissed after that day. If all
that's a long day. You gotta beat people's ass
Yo,
and the night too. Oh man.
You got on your girl, lose your job, get shot at. I don't want to be there. Like what?
Okay. Greatest singer.
Ooh.
This is for you too, Dre. Greatest singer.
Greatest singer.
Ooh. Wow.
Dang. Greatest singer.
I'm gonna go with Whitney. To me,
Whitney's definitely up there.
Ooh, I didn't expect that from you. I didn't expect that from you.
Whitney for sure. To me, I think Whitney, that range, and Whitney comes from the church, and you know, like church singers always have that that natural.
You said Whitney, and it made me say Fantasia.
Good choice.
Fantasia.
Jennifer Hudson.
Jennifer Hudson.
I know these supposed to be one word answers. I know black people sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But like,
No. Yeah,
sorry,
yeah. I
yeah,
know.
add a
It's
little
all
season
good.
to the mix.
Greatest rapper.
Mm,
Right now, I'm just gonna say Drake.
See
mm.
Drake.
I
Mhm.
like Kendrick.
Kendrick is a good choice.
I like
Kendrick's a
Kendrick.
good choice. Kendrick's a good choice. I'll give you that. Greatest movie.
Mm.
Oh, I got it.
Go ahead.
Um,
Go
greatest
ahead, Dre.
movie.
Greatest movie, Dre.
I said Black Panther.
Black Panther was very influential. I gotta
Black
say,
Panther.
because I worked
First
at a
one.
movie theater at the time Black Panther came out, and
Mhm.
I saw everybody in dashikis and cosplay. I'd never seen anything like that
Let me
ever.
tell you. Let me tell
Mm.
you why. I think Black Panther brought out our culture so well, and like aside from like the movie, the message of the movie, like the experience, the bonding experience that we have is how it is for us when we celebrate each other in general. Black people,
Yes.
like when we come together and we do stuff, we really be shutting things down. You know what I'm saying? Parties aren't lit if we're not there. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Music,
Mhm.
if there's no black people in entertainment, like American culture is a stolen culture in general. But like without black people, everything will be black and white. There'll be no seasoning. There'll be no colors. There'll be no. It'll be a mess. It'll be a mess. But
Mm-hmm.
like what back people
Mm-hmm.
don't like people do realize, but like Chadwick Boseman, you know what I'm saying? But like Black Panther in itself, that was a dream on top of what could have been. Yes, Wakana's not a real place, but like African
But
Americans were
people
that was strict.
feel it all the
And
time.
what
People feel
I feel like that's what literally was taken away from me. It's a dream. It's 100% a fantasy, but like the influence it had, it's like we could have been what we were created to be if we were not stripped away, if our identity wasn't stolen from us, if our identities wasn't washed away, if we weren't downplayed, belittled, if we weren't hurt. You know what I'm saying? And like we can still be these things, but
Mm-hmm.
there's limitations that we know we go through living in
Mhm.
this country, living in this world. And it's always about resources. It's about what you can get for the next person. Black Panther, what that movie meant to me was insane. And the all black cast, great actors at that. You know what I'm saying? We got the trailblazers, we got the auntie
Mm-hmm.
and uncles,
Mhm.
of the black race. And it was phenomenally done. Black Panther was one of the like I can't wait to show my kids that movie. God willing, you know what I'm saying? That movie just embodied everything about what it was just to be and
Yeah.
exist. And also
I got
gave us
I gotta
insight
agree with her. Yeah,
on how
I
we could
agree.
have literally progressed if we were able to stay in Africa and develop. You know what I'm saying? But again, people take away
Yeah.
your superpowers by watering them down. This movie gave us all our superpowers. You know what I'm saying? It was the opposite, and then it also showed the fault in the stars of experience. Like literally, like Killmonger. I'm not gonna get into this long. I'm gonna be able to go. But literally, Killmonger was even a villain. He was literally not allowed to go back home.
Nah, he wasn't.
He
Yeah,
wasn't a
he was.
Yeah.
villain.
He,
I think people
he was
realize
one.
that villains are just little kids that were hurt and grew up with that pain.
Exactly. And that
So
pain, you know what I'm saying? It made him act one or two ways. He was in survival mode and he wanted everything back that was taken away from him. Like we want back. You know what I'm saying? That's literally it.
Yeah.
I both like
Yeah.
we had that discussion go left. You know what I'm saying? But Black Panther is definitely, I mean, to me, the best movie ever.
Black Panther. And what about
Mhm.
yeah,
you? Cuz what about
I got
you?
to do with Dre here because even I'm sorry because seeing because I was there, I saw that atmosphere. I was like
Mhm.
working atmosphere, and the line was going like down to the block for people to get into the like they had two separate theaters
Yep.
because everybody couldn't get in. People were like, and then I think one of the theaters started malfunctioning, and everybody came out ready to like swing. So I mean, I wasn't at the thing, thank God. I was just cooking the popcorn, minding my business. But
Mhm.
but but nah, I never saw any movie give that type of reaction. So Black Panther is not only one of the best movies, but it is the most influential that I've seen in a very long time.
I'm gonna have to disagree with y'all. I'm gonna say The Wiz. The Wiz is probably
The Wiz is great.
It's like my top 5. That's like one of my top 5 movies.
I love that movie.
I told you, like one of my top 5. I think that's the best rendition of The Wizard of Oz.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because it's, yeah. And
my favorite. Sorry, keep going.
Oh no, you go ahead.
I was gonna say I love The Wiz, and like my favorite thing that happened was when they did it live. They did the live action version. You know, they did like the stage play, but they recorded it, they put it on TV.
Oh, I never saw the stage play.
You ever see the stage play? So like,
the stage play is
no. I know what you're talking about.
Fire.
The live,
yeah,
like you're seeing it recorded. Like they'll record it, they'll do like 2 takes. Like they'll practice like they would like a set, like a Broadway show, and then they put it on TV instead of going to Broadway. But like white people thought that they were making a black version of Wizard of Oz. Like now, like they're like, oh, if we made a white version of like The Wiz, y'all would be mad. Like you do, it's The Wizard of Oz. We had to make this because there was no space for us in that movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like this literally was created because of that, and it's influential. You know what I'm saying? Because again, at that time, had all the trailblazers in. Had Diana Ross, had Michael Jackson. Like that movie was phenomenal.
Lena Horne.
Lena Horne.
Yeah. Lena Horne.
Who else was in there?
Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones. Yeah, he composed the whole thing. He composed the whole thing. And just like some heavy hitters, like Eveline is one of the best. I don't remember her name, but
her name too. But she's the mama. What you call it?
Oh yeah,
What's happening?
What's happening? Exactly, it's happening.
Yeah.
So like all those things people we grew up seeing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and from an artist standpoint, the set, the design, the costumes,
the colors,
immaculate.
Incredible.
I should watch that. It's Christmas time too. It's giving
incredible.
I'm watching that soon.
But we're gonna end this show off, man. Cause we support you. We're very happy for you to come on to the show.
I appreciate
we will continue. Yes, we'll continue to support your work. You have a lifetime supporter, of course, in me, and I know in Dre as well. The love is always gonna be there. We're gonna continue to share your work, continue to watch you prosper, continue to watch you build. Thank you so much for taking your time to come on today's episode.
For having me and for doing stuff like this. You know what I mean? There's not enough. Yeah. I always encourage people, like, find your passion and go for it and do something that is creative, that's good for your mind, that's good for your spirit, because the creativity, it makes the world go round. It makes everything, it gives you something to look forward to when you don't want to go to work, when you don't want to pay bills, do adult stuff. Like, have fun, be creative, because you don't know where that could take you, Yeah. And I see nothing but for you guys, for everything you got going on. I see it taking over. It's going to be on stations and broadcasts and networks. So
appreciate that.
Thank you.
Just keep going and I love y'all. I love y'all to death, for real.
We love you too.
Thank you too. I love both of y'all. Man. Thank y'all for coming on. It's been a pleasure, and the love is always gonna be there. Just a Thought podcast. Andre, take us out. Venita, thank you so much.
Thank y'all.
Coming to you with another fire episode. Stay tuned for this episode. It will be dropping this week, so look forward to it. We are out.